Hello and welcome to this week's Raw podcast with myself, Kugan Cassius. This week, delighted to be joined by Mr. Liam Cameron. Liam, first of all, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. I had you penned down on a list that I was working through, and then, I appreciate you giving me some of your time. So, how is life, first of all, at the moment for you?
It's been different. It's been a weird one to adjust because, like, 3 months ago, no one really knew me, did they, to be fair. Nah, couldn't get sponsorship, and my life's completely changed. I'm fighting sponsorship off now. It's mad. I'm like, when people want to give me a sponsorship deal, big money, I'm like, what's catch with this? I don't understand it. What do you want from me? And it's hard to it's just hard, like, to fathom why people want to support you when you've never had it your whole career and stuff. So it's just adjusting. I got my blue tick today and all on Instagram. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this. Mad.
Let's delve back into the 90s of Sheffield and Yorkshire. What was life for you like in the 90s growing up in and around Sheffield, Liam?
We're all right, to be fair. Do you know what it is with Sheffield? We all like a big community. Obviously not when I was little, but like now, if you want a little electrician, you've got a mate what's got one. If you're a plumber, you've got a mate, and they all help each other out. I think it's a really nice place, Sheffield. So yeah, me growing up as a kid, I hated school. I couldn't stand it. I didn't fit in. I didn't know actually what school was for. Obviously, we'll talk about why in a bit, but I didn't understand why I was going to school. I didn't have a passion for anything. Then I watched Rocky with my nan, about 8-year-old, and I absolutely fell in love with it, but I didn't believe I could do it because when you're watching stuff on a movie, it's just mad that you can actually go to a boxing gym and it's easy to do.
What was your, when you're obviously younger, I mean, look, when I was younger, I don't really know what I wanted to be, but for yourself, like, before even the thought of boxing, what did you kind of think at some point in your life, that's what I want to be? Or was it boxing from the start?
No, my family actually all boxed, so I used to know they boxed, but never really got took to the gym until I watched Rocky, and I used to have this, I used to cut orange up, I used to take the flesh off and put the gum shield in, pretend it were a gum shield, and I used to eat this teddy in my room, and that's how it started, just watching Rocky. So really, Rocky's my hero kind of thing. He is, because he got me into boxing.
A lot of people I've heard say that, not too many, but they've said that Rocky is a fictional character, but that is a reason why that kind of started their journey into boxing.
Yeah, because like Rocky Balboa, it'll never die, that film. It'll always be a part of a boxer's life. If you're a boxer, you've definitely watched Rocky, and I was bang same, watched it and loved it. I loved the story. I loved he were an underdog, and he become champ. He beat Apollo Creed.
So, how would you describe your personality back then, when kind of into your teens and kind of that sort of age, 18, 19? What sort of person was Liam Cameron?
Very quiet and not quiet, if I knew you. Hyperactive kid. Recently been diagnosed with exclusive thing. It's a bit thing to talk about. I've been diagnosed with ADHD and autism, which when I tell people, I've been diagnosed with ADHD and autism, and they'll go, oh, we knew already. And I'm thinking, wait, why didn't you tell me? Do you know what I mean? What have I been acting? But yeah, hyper kid. I've been brought up good, do you know what I mean? I've been brought up with manners and stuff. I'm a bit of a piss taker now and again, but yeah, just an average guy, really, quite quiet. But as I've got older, I'm a bit more talkative now.
If you don't mind me asking, Liam, what kind of pushed you towards going to get tested for those? Was it something that was recommended for you to do, or something you've done off your own back?
Yeah, so when I were a kid, I used to have this grey cloud come over me all the time. I used to be depressed. But I thought that were normal, and like, when I'm shut my eyes at night, I can hear like 100 mile an hour. And it's not normal to feel like my head's just completely just 100 mile an hour all the time. So when I actually had my overdose, I went to hospital. First time ever I asked for help. And they put me on these pills and stuff, and they've been with me helping me. And I think it was 2 weeks ago they diagnosed me. They had this 4-hour interview. They said it might take 3 parts, so 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. They went, but if you've got it bad, we'll tell you in first interview. So I'm thinking, I know I've got something, but I don't know what it is. I'm confused here. And within 4 hours, she went, you've got it both straight away. So I'm like, wow. So I didn't just stay home. Like I've been struggling as a kid with this madness, because I've got both. The autism's quite low. Then I'll pick up. Then I'll be hyperactive and can't keep still and stuff.
Is it something because it's been, say, officially diagnosed, that part of it's a little bit of a relief that there is a label for it and you can kind of get to grips with that, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so she said she was going to do a follow-up interview with me, because she said some people take it bad when they found out. But I often know anyway, do you know what I mean? So I'm all right. I've lived with it for years now, but I'm just kind of thankful there is kind of some label there. I think it helps with me boxing, to be fair. I'm disciplined. I can get knocked off track, but I've got good people keeping me on track.
Oh, that's what I was going to come on to, that side of it, obviously, because you are a professional fighter. But I suppose if you're saying that it's something in the back of your mind that you've known, then, and now you've kind of, if it's confirmed, then you can kind of just get to grips with it and use that to your advantage with your boxing as well.
Yeah, I've got that, my hyperfocus is boxing, they've said, so nothing comes in between it. Obviously I've got kids, they come in between everything, but like nothing will come in between my boxing. And I think as I've got older, it has got worse. I think it has, you know. So like I can proper knuckle down. I don't need for nothing. Gym, eat, sleep, look after my kids, box, and I love that kind of life. I love it. Simplicity. I keep everything simple in my life, and I find ways to make things easier for myself. And like coming here were a bit of a struggle, because new environment and stuff, and I've got to do an interview. So when I keep my time limited with little bits, when something pops in, it's a bit of a struggle.
How do you maintain and cope with that day to day then?
I just get on with it. I just think to myself, do you know what? Things will pass. It'll pass, and I'll be all right again in an hour or something.
You've obviously spoken in the past about kind of problems that you've had, etc., etc. When you look at that part of your life and how kind of dark it got, how dark did it get for you, Liam?
Oh, it was so dark. I'm actually grateful, because I shouldn't. For what I was doing, the amounts I were taking and the drink I were having, I shouldn't be here. I were killing myself big time, and like I used to look at myself in the mirror and go, "You're a drugger, you're an alcoholic. What's happened to you? What you done with your life?" And I couldn't fight it. I just couldn't fight it. And I finally did. I just woke up and I thought, obviously I had an health scare, didn't I? I had the overdose. I thought I was dead. I thought we were going to die. The woman said the amount in your system were crazy. I went into this room with nurse after I went in, she just laid low down, basically said, look, you'll be dead in a year if you carry on. You could be any time. You're a ticking time bomb. From that day, I ain't had a drink for over 2 years now. So yeah, that's a bit of a success. I've won in life. and I'm only halfway through it, to be fair. So this boxing career is crazy because I only come back to maybe an FU to prove to people, do a little tasking myself and prove I can come back. And I've just exceeded unbelievable to what I thought I'd ever do. So I'm just grateful. Everything's a bonus from here, everything I do.
If that overdose situation hadn't occurred in your life, do you ever think about where your life could have been if that major wake-up call hadn't happened at that point of your life?
Yeah, definitely. I've got family members what they've died and stuff. We've been around stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it's not good. I'm so thankful that I had it and I can come back stronger and share my message to people, because I get so many messages as a day saying how much I've helped other people, and like I'm just living my life talking when people want me to interview, and it inspires people. It's quite hard to figure why I do inspire people, but maybe I watch podcasts and it helped me. I watched a lot of David Goggins people. I watched the James English one with him saying we're having his guests on, and it does help you, but you need that little kick up arse, and mine were nearly deaf, so I hope people don't take it to that extreme where you need it, because you might not come out the other side, you know what I mean? I did. I'm so grateful for it.
When you look at that period now, what do you think that was missing from your life, or what was you searching for that obviously wasn't in drink or drugs, but at the time you probably thought it was?
I get asked that. When I got banned from boxing, I couldn't stand boxing, so I thought, I'm not missing no. Is it am I filling a void in life? But now I'm out of it, I was filling the void, weren't I? You don't understand at time, you're in denial, you don't think you're an alcoholic when you're drinking every day, you're having no sleep for 3 days and stuff. You just think, yeah, I can stop when I want, I'm doing it because I'm just having a good time, but you're not, you're balls deep in it, it's horrible.
When you were going through everything, obviously your career did come to a halt for 4 years. We spoke, actually, we did an interview, didn't we, after you'd been served with that. It's incredible that you've come through that as well, and you've put yourself in the position you have done. Is fucking unbelievable, to be fair.
Do you know what, that interview as well, I think I kind of not begged, but I just wanted to get my side out, because if you've not done something and you got banned for that mad amount and 4 years, I'm like, I've just been kicked aside here and no one's willing to give my side. Everyone thinks I'm a cheat. And like, I'm going to refer to Conor Ben and watch one of his interviews. I'm not saying that he's innocent or not innocent. What happens if I were telling the truth and I said I didn't have it? And he kind of said that, and maybe, what do you do if you didn't have it? And I am telling the truth, which I've got no need to lie. I talk about my autism. I talk about my past drink and drugs. When I come out and just say, look, I did have a problem, I put my hands up, I did do it, I'd say that. I try to be as honest as I can. And yeah, it's just a little bit of thing, do people believe me or not? But I think I've got a good support, and I think people now do believe me with minute traces of a professional name of cocaine in my system, minute traces. And it would never have made me a better fighter. Never. I've had stuff. I wouldn't have got into the ring. I'd been twitching through curtains and everything. I just can't see how it would have helped me. It would have made me a worse fighter.
I'm assuming at that time as well, not as much anymore. There might be a little bit of resentment, but you must have been bitter about the sport after that, because we look at kind of, like I said, we don't need to go into individual people's situations. It's happening, and it has happened a lot over those kind of few years, but it must have made you bitter towards boxing.
Yeah, I'm thinking mine's non-performance enhancing. You've got people, what's with promoters, what are getting steroid abuse. This is gonna help you big time. They actually injecting it or whatever they do, swallowing tablets to make themselves better and cheating sport. And I just thought, they're getting 6 months here, and I'm watching telly thinking, what happened with my case? Did I have a shit solicitor? Didn't I do it properly? But it just is what it is. I can't do naught about it.
Do you feel like you were made an example of at that time?
Possibly. They let a few good in. There were 6-month bans, a year ban. Then they thought, right, we've got to chuck 1 4-year in. And I caught for 4 year, unfortunately. It killed me, it ripped me to bits. But it was a slow process. It didn't just rip me there. It took a couple of years to do it, where it really killed me soul. I was dead when I looked in the mirror. I had nothing behind my eyes and stuff. And but what a comeback I've done, and it's getting publicity now that I can't even say I expected it, but I've just done what I've done, Anna, and I've just pushed on every day in gym. I train, I make sure I get the best possible account of myself every day in gym, and just hope for the best.
What was the biggest, whether it's at the front of your mind or the back of your mind, what was the one thing that was you were looking at and thinking, do you know what, I'm gonna get to there, I'm gonna get to there, however difficult it was and how much you was in pain and suffering? What was the one thing, or was there one thing?
Do you know what it is? There's no one what's going to help my family bar me. I'm going to be the breadwinner. There's no hope for my family other than me. So without me, we're going to live a normal life, probably a bit worse than normal. I couldn't allow that. It's one chance. I've got, probably back then I had about 4 year left, 5 year in boxing. I thought, right, I've got to give it everything. It's now or never. I've got to give my heart and soul to the sport, and whatever I achieve. And some days when I were overweight, couldn't even walk downstairs. I was that tired. And I turned up, I just kept on turning up every day, and it shocked a lot of people. Even the gym didn't think I was going to come back, because I've said it before, I'm going to come back. But I were banned, I couldn't do it because I were banned. I weren't allowed to train with pros while I were banned, or there were more stuff coming. So I just stuck with 1 day at a time, and I got through it, and now I'm here.
I feel like, obviously, without kind of going into specifically what's going on right now in your life in boxing, the Liam Cameron story, I don't know whether there's an ending there or it's a continued journey, but you're far from done in this sport, aren't you? You've got a lot to do still, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't want to be big-headed and say that I'm going to go far and stuff, because you just never know, do you? What my journey will be, but I'll make sure I give it 100%. I can't say I'm going to win a British title, can't say I'm going to earn this much of money, but I've done well, and it's put a smile on my face, and you just can't predict these things. I just look up and I think, there's got to be a God, there's got to be.
Do you look at, you're 34 now, so do you look at kind of, let's say, into your 30s as a completely new chapter in your life in terms of everything, not just your boxing, but your home life, your personal life, everything about you, obviously learning about your ADHD and autism? It's a completely new chapter for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I look back and I think there were different stages in my life, and I think I've had all this shit. Like, with my autism, because what I do, I process stuff and I think of best ways to do stuff. And I think I've quite mastered what I need to do to make it, and I'm just working on it every day.
I was going to ask that, like when you wake up in the morning, like your thought process around getting through the day, is it different every day? Or is it you try and keep things in a routine for yourself every day so you know where you're at?
I make my day how I want it, so I wake up, gotta have a shower and a coffee, take my kids to school. From the school, I'll go straight to the gym, then I know it's done. Come back, clean my house. This is what my life is. I'll do my dogs, have some food, straight to the gym again, come back. Then I know I've tidied the house, I can chill when I come back. And that's me. I don't go out. Look, there's nothing stopping me from going on holiday. I ain't been on holiday for 5 years. I'm gonna live my life when this journey's over. I want complete suffering of being like Khabib and goes eat, sleep, train. And that's what I want. I want complete suffer. I want to make it, and I believe I'm going to do it. I don't know. You're making it might mean I'm saying I'm going to be a British, Commonwealth, European champion. I don't mean that. I want to set my family up, and that's what I'm here to do. They're relying on me, and that it's powerful for me to actually have that challenge in my life and that responsibility, and I won't let them down.
Do you have this mind process because you don't want to leave, as they say, a stone unturned? You want to be able to look at yourself in 5, 6 years' time when I did absolutely everything I could to make a better life for my family.
It's like I can push so much harder. I've just got that tunnel vision now. Like the Arthur fight, I know I keep talking about Lyndon Arthur, he must be sick of me. But I shouldn't have really been in that fight. Just come back 9 months. He's been in with Dimitri Bivol. He beat Yard. It's a great fight. He's top 5 in governing bodies. You've got me. I've just come back with 9 months. And I'm fighting him. What got me through that fight were art and determination to make it, and I just come up short by a split decision. And not many people thought I lost that fight.
But you believe in your head you shouldn't have been in the ring that day?
No, definitely I shouldn't. I could have done with a couple of more, but the grit, the determination got me through it, and I did well. I did a fruit kitchen sink at him, didn't I? And I was looking online, he's going to knock me out in 4 rounds. He actually ate Bivol at body. He's stopped quite a lot of his opponents, and he's ate nearly every one of them. So, like, it were an odd fight to go into that, but I just put feelings to side, and that's what I do. I put feelings to side and hope for the best.
How important has it been for you, Liam, to have good people around you, whether that's in your personal life or in the boxing world? You've had good people around, haven't you, to kind of be on this journey to a certain extent with you if you needed their help?
Yeah, I kind of think, has everything happened to get me to this moment? Because I never thought I'd go back. I started at Steel City for all my amateur fights and a couple of pros. I moved. I never thought I'd go back to Steel City. I'm there. My trainer Pierce, I used to see him as a kid at gym. He was an amateur boxer. He used to be in my changing rooms and we used to jog together. Never thought he'd be my trainer. Got Lee Eaton, what's done absolute amazing for me. Has he changed my life? Yeah. But it's been the whole team, hasn't it, as well? I've done my bit. Pierce has done his bit. And they're all great. They're all great at that gym. I've not got a bad word to say about them. They're so professional there, and I like it.
If I could map out your next 2 years, show me, just plan out for me a perfect 2 years for Liam Cameron.
So, we're going to get this rematch. I'm going to beat Ben. I'm just going to fly into the spotlight. I'm going to have the best fights I possibly can. And I'm going to have my house. with a nice drive, with a car on it, and go on holiday and say, look what I did for your family, look what I did for you. And I'm not going to drink, have a Diet Coke, all-inclusive. I'm still going to be tight with it, but we'll have an all-inclusive holiday and we'll smile together.
Absolutely love that. I love that. Listen, I hope it all works out for you. Because like I said, obviously not knowing everything you've gone through, you've spoken about some, but I remember that time when we did that interview, and obviously a lot's happened since then. So to see you on this side, I said happy, kind of your life's in a good place, and listen, whatever's going on in your boxing career, it's one of the most talked about things. We'll talk about this on a separate interview, but it's good to see kind of good things happening for her.
Yeah. Do you know what it was in that interview? I don't know if you could tell, if you tell the truth, I didn't look well on it, did I? I was twitching, I was doing this. I were half drunk on it. And that were a big cry for help, that, you know.
What, in that interview you was drunk?
Yeah.
Was you really?
Yeah, I was drunk. It were a big cry for help. And do you know what I've learned? And this is like that Instagram post. No one's coming. No one's coming to help you. You can feel sorry for you as much as you want. But it's only you what's going to get yourself out of it and push on. And I've learned that.
So you know what, it's quite fitting that ultimately it's down to you. Like I said, I think there's an expression about leading the horse to water. Yeah, you're right, it is down to you completely.
No one's going to give you... They can help you with a couple of £100 and stuff, but it's not going to help you in the long run. That's just to help you to make sure you're all right. But big shout out to my mum and dad and all for patience they've had with me. Do you know what I mean? But I messed up for 2-3 years in my life. As I go on, it won't look too bad. Do you know what I mean? 2 years isn't that much for a year, being a bad lad.
Okay, Liam, much appreciate your time. And yeah, listen, I only wish you obviously good things, and I know good things will come. So yeah, appreciate your time. Have you got anything else you want to say before we kind of wrap up?
No, that's it. Thank you. I think it's been a good one, to be fair. I hope it inspires people. I know it sounds cringy, that, but I hope it does inspire people. And I wish people who are struggling and want to come back, you can do it. It's not hard.
Absolutely. This has been Kugan Cassius with Liam Cameron for this week's Raw podcast. Make sure you comment, like and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Thank you very much.